Hello everyone, I am William Johnson. As you may have seen me before on my previous videos, I'm a music composer, and I am trying now to speak to you regarding my disappointment in my appearance in about 2010 on Britain Has Got Talent. Last night I have tried to make a video about 1 hour together with about 8 minutes my own music composition, and it was for all of you, but unfortunately due to lack of concentration as I was trying to watch Britain Has Got Talent last night, a part of it, of course I missed most of it. I was of course I may watch it again. As I say to you, I'm trying to make it short for you if I can. About 2010, of course I attended 2009, but it was in private room. There was no, the judge was not known to me or like a private, like a producer or something, and there was a cameraman and I played a few gigs, my own gigs, shall we say demo gigs, in front of their camera. It was in private room, but it was a very long proceedings. In another meaning, I was waiting for many hours. Despite I've got some sort of physical disability, and they should have maybe make it a bit quicker for me, but unfortunately I had to be in the queue like everyone for several hours. I am not sure actually 100%, but either I did not get their second invitation by post, it got lost or something. I had a bit problematic with my postal address, etc. I'm not sure, but having said that, I didn't hear anything from them, and then when I tried to phone, and then some of their staff on the telephone, they were not very kind to me, some of them. And then I tried to apply again, and then I attended about the end of 2009 for the first audition, and apparently despite again several hours I got through, and then about I'm not sure exactly, January or February, I think it was January, yes, I attended January 2010, I attended in Manchester. First they invited me to a very first class hotel, I guess was Adrian Hotel or something like that, and there were so many other shall we say auditioners, and in that time again I've been waiting for several hours in the queue, and I could not in that day actually was a nightmare for me, because the night before I slept just nearly about 2 hours, and I was not very sure 100% if I get some sort of social service home care that they can give me a lift to Manchester, because I live far away from Manchester, and I didn't want to go with my car, or with my mobility car, shall we say, higher purchase mobility car, because even due to my nature of my spine and other problem, I could not carry a heavy keyboard. For me it's heavy due to my nature of my physical disability. So I could not carry and put it in my car and then again and again, for example, and therefore I needed some help from my social service home care. And finally, after swapping the social home care, apparently the other gentleman was happily came with me, and he gave me a lift in his car, and I appreciate. And he helped me to carry my keyboards, and we went to that Adrian Hotel or whatever is a first class hotel, and I was waiting there for several hours, and then Mr. Mulhern, Stephen Mulhern, he interviewed me, but he, having said that, I was with his team, shall we say, filmmaker, his team. I was not apparently allowed to play live on my keyboards, and they only ask me to pretend, for example, if I'm playing on my keyboards, but no sound, nothing. The others, for example, vast majority, they were allowed to play loud, to play loud music. I mean, to, shall we say, to do rehearsal, whatever they supposed to do. But apparently, I don't know why they ask me not to play live and just pretend that I'm playing. And most of all, even their staff, they put a sellotape on the front of my keyboards, which was Yamaha keyboards. I have nothing to hide, and it's a good manufacturer, good keyboards. And I have seen before and even after it on Britain Has Got Talent that there was no censorship about the manufacture of the keyboards or music instrument or something, to my best knowledge, on many occasions. So, but for me, they brought a big sellotape and they put it in the front of my keyboards, and I find it very odd, personally, and still, unfortunately, of course, it's in my room for nearly 2-3 years. I didn't touch it. Everybody can have seen, and I have seen it, and my home care has seen it front of him. They did it in front of everybody. So there was an odd thing going on, and then because I was named my music, and I wanted to dedicate it for the victim of natural disaster. I have no money, but I wanted, in case if I could win that £100,000, I would have loved to give to the Red Cross, which are very reputable charity organization, mostly, or other reputable charity organization, to help at least a little those who have been victim of natural disasters. Right now, I'm talking to you, as we all know that, in the middle of Europe, so many countries, sadly, they are affected of the serious flood and serious raining, ongoing raining, and then the rivers flooded, and many houses in the middle of Europe, several countries. Sadly, they've been affected. Whether they are rich or poor, natural disaster does not understand someone is rich, someone is poor. They lost many of their belongings and even their, shall we say, their houses. And some of them, sadly, they become nearly temporarily homeless. So I mainly went for a good aim, not because I wanted to become very famous music composer. I had a good aim and humanitarian aim. And so, shall we say, after the interview, I mentioned that Mr. Stefan Mulhen on ITV2 first. He interviewed me, and then while he, of course, it was a part of comedian act or something. He always do that with others auditioner, and apparently he put very big size, maybe two times bigger than or 3 times bigger than A4 size. They put photos of natural disaster, flood, presumably, and whatever, earthquake, others. I was just trying to concentrate to pretend I'm playing on my keyboard. So I had a very short second, I had a look at it, and of course, to my best knowledge, there was not someone in it, shall we say, no victim which can be hurted or injured in it, only the photo of earthquake or something and flood or something like that. But at the end they put the photo, unexpected, by me unexpected, the photo of Mr. Piers Morgan, the judge of, in that time he was the judge of the Britain Has Got Talent. And I can't remember exactly, off camera or on camera, I said, I took it a bit, I know it was a joke, but I wasn't sure whether what they've done was it a joke. So I said, Mr. Piers Morgan, he is not a disaster that you put his photo. Presumably that was a part of their act, and I'm not expert. So after all, so I wasn't able to do any sort of rehearsal or even to do anything, and I've got a rheumatism, sorry about the spelling, rheumatism or tries something to do with my, with my joint pain, and so I told them in advance that I've got a rheumatism, I've got a spine problem, and I can hardly walk, and etc., etc. And also, I actually that day I had for a few days serious stomach problem, and also as well, and I didn't want to eat a lot and such as that, etc. And of course I was on normal, shall we say, very basic diabetic, so nearly I could have gone getting thirsty more often. Having said that, even, I don't know, they didn't give me a good guide that I should sit nearby the bathroom or something. Then I was not, then I had to walk long distance with the walking stick to the bathroom, and when I came back, etc. And anyway, nearly, we arrived about, I can't remember, about 8 o'clock or 8:30 or something there. And even they asked me to bring my passport, my British passport, to show it. Presumably others, I don't know, one of their rule regulation, maybe in their contract said, you've got to be mainly British citizen in order to attend, to be a part of Britain Has Got Talent. It was in 2009 and 10, in their contract said it. Mainly said you've got to be British citizen. I was British citizen. I had my British passport. I took it with me for identification as well. I had driving license, so I didn't need to take British passport, but just in case they asked me before. And then I went there, and nearly 4 or 5 o'clock, I can't remember exactly to my best knowledge, it's nearly 2-3 years ago. And then they gave me a lift with a taxi, and then we got into taxi with my home care. Of course, he had a car and etc., but it wasn't maybe allowed, or I don't know, to bring his car, etc. I don't know what was it. Anyway, we had to go by taxi, and then they took me, rather to take me by lift, they took me through the back door, a very old, shall we say, porter, and very old stairs, and nearly 2 stairs down the cellar they took me without, shall we say, without being able to hold myself on the stairs. They didn't have anything on their stairs that anybody can hold themselves. It was a very old part of Manchester Opera House. I never been inside before, and they could have given me a chair to sit like some of their auditioners. One gentleman about my age, he was sitting, and he was healthy to my best understanding, but he was sitting just on the, shall we say, on the stage floor. But I had, like others, of course there were others too, but they took me down the cellar, and nearly 1 hour there is cold. I know they might have had heater, I don't know, but it was very cold for my rheumatism, and so that affected, of course, on my performance, could be. And then I know I got some help to climb down or climb up the stairs, 2 floors. Excuse me. Then they took me and they put my keyboards on a stage in Manchester Opera House. They never took me there to show me where is the amplifier of the bass, where are they located, just in case if they buzz me, how loud it is. They didn't show me. I told them I've got some sort of problem with my hearing, which can ups and downs effect on me. I told them that I've been sadly since nearly about, shall we say, in different area, nearly 20 years. I hope you believe me, nearly 20 years in different area, local gangs, nearly sometimes non-stop. They thrown a very, very dangerous object at my window, at my face, at me, in my flat. Even where I live right now, they thrown concrete at my flat. And no local authority tried to help me in a utmost completely fair manners. Most of them, they ignore me, just because maybe I'm from not originally born and bred here. I don't know. But all that happening to me, day and night, they thrown concrete other object at my windows, at my door. I'm not a machine. I'm not a robot. Of course, this is happening to me. When my ex-neighbor thrown a raw potato at my windows several times, even at me one time, nearly at my face when I opened the back door. And their word is against me. Even the local authority took me to the court, and they wanted me to stop to play music during the daytime, during the day. I've never played after. Right now, even I'm very, very nervous to talk a bit loudly, which I need it because one of my camera is not, despite this new one, but it doesn't take the sounds. I mean, the volume of the sound, I don't know, is not very loud. So it's nearly, it's nearly 9:30, and despite in my new flat, may not have so much trouble in that way, I mean, you know what I mean. But I want to respect. I have never played loud music after nearly 10 or until early this morning, 7 or 8 in the morning. I have never played it. But that ex-neighbor, they've done that to me. For 2 years, they never had problem with my music. Suddenly, they had a family breakdown or drunk matter or other things, or family dysfunction or financial dysfunction, and they use me as a scapegoat. And local authorities, they should have taken some sort of fair action against them for not only lying on the oath to the court and to the official on many occasions, and then they attack me with the potato and they thrown it, and they admitted to the police. But no, and you imagine this such situation. How would you expect anybody that going to play one of my soft music, one of my best music, and to dedicate it for the victim of natural disaster? I wanted for it that. Even I wanted to sign a recording deal in case. And then at least a part of my music production goes for this such heartbreaking natural disaster victims. I know how it is. And therefore, they just nearly shut me up. The producer came, a lady. I haven't met her, presumably a stage producer, different producers they had. And she, behind of the curtain, said, I am a new producer to you now. Some of the judges might be funny or rude to some of you. Please ignore that. And also, don't try to mention that your music goes for a charity. I'm not sure whether she meant it that is commercial TV, etc. Despite that, the name of my music was Let Us Remember and Support the Victim of Natural Disaster. So they knew the title is that, but they still wanted me not to say that directly. When they asked me to go and play my music, they put my keyboards on a stage, and so no one ever tried to take me touring around of a stage before. Which door you go out, which door you come in. They even did not say that, to my best knowledge, at that time. Mr. Simon Cowell actually saying at the end, where are you going? I was going the other side, and because I was not used to it, so I was going to the wrong gate, which there are only left or right. Nobody did practice me at all. That which way I should go exactly, or guide me. Anyway, I started to play the only music I was planned to play, only one melody. I knew the copyright, I knew the risk of copyright, I knew that, but I wanted to dedicate it for the victim of natural disaster. So surely they would have thought about to take care of my music. They are expecting. Despite that, and I tried my best, and to my best understanding, I played it well. I have no doubt I played it well. Maybe that was pre-planned, which I didn't know, that Mr. Piers Morgan to buzz me for fun, maybe. I guess, presumably he did for fun. Maybe they were planned. I don't know. That because of natural disaster photos, and his photo was put at the end as a joke, as a disaster. Maybe, for example, they, Mr. Stephen Bullhorn presumably tried to make a joke with him and put his photo as a disaster. Presumably. That was exactly what I now assume. And then Mr. Piers Morgan, in the middle of my music, not at the beginning apparently, he buzzed me. I'm not sure actually, was it Mrs. Amanda Holding buzzed me first or Mr. Piers Morgan. But there was a buzz one after each other. And you imagine, very quiet, the crowd, they were, in my view, the whole a few thousand people down there, apparently they were very impressed. I guess so. And then suddenly they buzzed me. I was, for a millisecond, I thought that I'm at home or someone attacked me, and big noise. And because my ex-neighbors, they non-stop nearly ringing me or harassing me while I was even not practicing music even. Sometimes I had to go and practice music, as you have seen my videos, my previous video. You have seen me, I was outside most time on the back of my car. Sometimes it was raining, it was cold. And some local farmers, if they, at the beginning they didn't know why I am, they never asked me, of course, but I told them voluntarily later on that why I practice music nearby their farmland on the back of my car. I have a place to live, but I don't want to disturb my neighbor nearly 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was sometimes heavily rain, and I was playing on the back of my car, practicing. Because I thought that if I go home, I get a bit problematic, maybe, with the neighbor. How much can I do that? I did not play day and night at all. Anyway, they took me to the court, and there was a biased judicial people. They all gathered together, but having said that, they couldn't have anything against me. Even the judge said nothing we can do between two neighbors. There is no evidence put before me by the city council and by this neighbor, the only neighbor. There is no evidence put to me that this man ever played during antisociable hours. After nearly 11 o'clock, he meant it until early this morning. So there was no evidence, practically and by theory. But the neighbor, many times they wrote it down 4 or 5 or 3, but on many occasions they did not write AM and PM. Indirectly, they tried to mislead, maybe, the council, city council official people. And they brought equipment behind of my wall without even my knowledge. They put it on recording my music. Presumably, I don't know if that is a breach of my copyright, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, all this matter happening to me, so I jumped when I was in the middle of my music, and when Mr. Piers Morgan and Mrs. Amanda Holding, apparently they both me one after each other, or maybe sometimes they make a joke and they put their hand on the buzz on each other, so I didn't have a look at them at all at that moment because I was playing. I was concentrating on my music mainly at that time. And so in the middle of it, I was badly jumped and nearly cried and nearly have a heart attack. It was totally natural, happened to me. Because apparently the amplifiers, shall we say, big speaker, so many big in the opera house, as you know, you may guess, there are several thousand people coming, and so even it's different than when you watch it on TV. Believe me or not, if you even take notice that some of the judges, I mean Miss Amanda Holding or Mrs. Sometimes she a few times jumped when she even bossed herself or others, she jumped a bit. So even it is so loud, honestly it is so loud that I never, and nobody told me where they are. Approximately I could guess or where they are, and and also I had confidence that my music will be well accepted, which was well accepted by Mr. Simon Cowell, because he did not boss me. I didn't know actually. Because of my health, I nearly had a heart attack and such as that, and I didn't want to fall in case on a stage. I was slowly trying to get to have a break before they make a decision. Yes, I tried to get off a stage because I was not really, I had a lot of pain and shock, and I didn't want young people to see me I'm crying by accident, of course. So anyway, nobody jumped, rushed to me to give me a glass of water, or shall we say they had a GP, doctor, nurses. At least they can jump on a stage to give me any medical help. Nobody came. I was trying to help myself with that such circumstance to walk off the stage. And suddenly, Mr. Simon Cowell, he waved to me and he asked me, where am I going? I said, I'm going. Something I may have said politely. But he said, stay, and apparently I saw on his desk, he did not buzz me. I thought that all of them, but of course I couldn't, for a millisecond I couldn't judge how many buzz I heard. His desk was white, shall we say, multiply. So he's, apparently, I'm not sure, Mr. Piers Morgan at that time said your music was good. I buzzed your music because your music was good, but it was good for a funeral. I believe the crowd, as well as we didn't like his comment. Not because he buzzed me, but we didn't like his comment, what he said is good for a funeral. And also, he should have thought this is for a charity. I wanted this music, and I named it for that, for a victim of natural disaster. However, I did my best and such as that, but they should have not really interrupted me at all. Even there are other musicians or other artists, even they may not accidentally do well for any charity giving, but surely we all have to give more credit and sometimes give them chance. Of course, Mr. Simon Cowell, he said he gave me a chance. He said, play another one, because I said at the beginning I'm one of the greatest music composers, and hopefully, but I wasn't even pre-planned to play another one. But because I have composed several hundred really music, all kinds, so I had it in my mind in case. And then I said to the crowd, I made a risk about my promise because I wasn't sure if I haven't rehearsed that melody, and I wasn't sure if on this occasion with my health even what happened, whether I could continue. But despite that risk, I gave a promise to the whole nearly several thousand people in Opera House, and I said now because I have a chance, so I'm going to play you a new other melody, something like that, a disco music, something, a music that most of you will be dancing with my music. It's a dancing music. So anyway, I started to play my second melody, which wasn't planned. It went very well. In fact, it went very well. For a millisecond, I saw Mrs. or Miss Amanda holding. She was standing behind of her desk and dancing, and nearly everybody. And in the middle of my second music, even I heard, of course, we all know that when TV presenters, Mr. Dick and Mr. Ant, when one of those or both of them, they jump in the middle and just do something encouraging or etc. Everybody knows. So everybody, while they were clapping with the rhythm of my music and very happily dancing with my music and such as that. So apparently when they did like 1, 2, and when they did it a bit like that, I understood that someone is on the stage. But Mr. Dick apparently was on the stage. He was dancing with my music, appreciate what he has done. But behind of me, of course, he didn't want, presumably, that I may lose concentration. He was dancing behind of me, but everybody told me he was dancing, and even himself, he said he loved it and he danced my music at the end. So anyway, went good, and so no judges, even at the first stage, nobody said no, and second music, no judge even said no, and apparently, of course, even Mrs. Amanda Holding loved it and dancing, and everybody standing ovation nearly in the Opera House. I hope those who have by accident watching this video and they've been to Manchester Opera House in about January 2010, they would be testified privately, I mean, in their good comment, that what I have been telling you is to my best knowledge and best understanding, and my honorable, I have said it without any exaggerated, without any adding up or anything. Maybe, of course, is 2-3 years ago, but exactly, approximately, it was what has happened. I'm trying to describe to you. And then, at the end, to my best memory, Mr. Shall we say, Mr. Simon Cowell told me that come back next year and bring you some dancer with you. That's all. Apparently, that was what he said. And so, politely, I said no thank you, because I'm not sure until next year some gangs would allow me to leave. How would you expect me that sometimes thrown concrete at my window, even where I am now, at midnight? I know I survived of all these attacks against me, but how could I know that? Whether I may survive until next year, not because of any sort of personal self-harming or anything. I don't have it in my mind at all. But of course I have a fear for my life when where I live is dangerous road. Sometimes they get drunk, disorderly, and etc. So for that reason, I said where I live. I didn't say exactly where, but I said where I live, I'm not very safe. I'm not safe, and I don't know if I can survive there because of gangs attack. I've been victim of serious crime. That's all I said. Of course, when I jumped sadly and cried, I said I've been victim of crime. That was the reason, main reason I jumped. I didn't go into detail, but now I give you detail because in that time I didn't want to spoil the enjoyment of the crowd, I mean the audience. I know now I may say it, and I don't want, but you are prepared to hear nearly everything what happened to me on Britain Has Got Talent, because you can turn it off at any moment if you don't want to hear it the rest. But I have a good news for you, which I forgotten to say at the beginning, that as you may know, at the end of this music, I have a very good music. I never played it before. In another minute, this is not the same music on Britain Has Got Talent, because I want to keep that for some, in case if comes some legal dispute or etc. I'm not sure whether I should play that music at this moment on public. So this is another music, another one I created just short while ago, and I'm going to play for you. Everybody has got different type of taste about music, so I hope you will be. I liked it when I composed it, so I'm sure you may like it. So I have a good news about that. So this video, my speech, will not be left without some sort of like a good present, hopefully. And I am hoping that nobody kindly, I mean, mainly I'm talking to some commercial, small firm or big firm. I hope they are not going to take my music like before and put it on their firms on Google, website, and without obtaining my permission, without paying me anything. And they are just, I have taken notice, they are apparently abusing of my good vulnerability, and because I said I'm a bit beginner on broadband, but that should not be given any sort of misunderstanding. And I hope those small firm or big firm, whether they are legally having their website or not, but I have seen on Google, not on YouTube, because YouTube presumably they have different system, but they have taken my music from YouTube presumably to, I don't know how they could have done that, and they change even the photo, my photo, or the view photo, which is formatted on front of my video. Actually, you know, the YouTube choose automatically 3 type of photo from the whole video, and 3 option I have. Then I have to choose the option which is related, or maybe better photo, or maybe better, you know, such as that. Then I choose that, and then will be on my YouTube video like this one. I know this one is only talking mainly, so presumably will be my face, but different sort of angle. But there has been a beautiful video, for example, beautiful birds or something, which I put it on my video. Apparently they have someone have done that. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of this. But this video, to my best knowledge, can be seen on YouTube free of charge, like the most of it. Most of the apparently the most of people, they upload on YouTube, and I'm hoping that a proper good recording company, they get in touch with me, and hopefully with a better format, with a better production, shall we say, better, that I can make a nice music. I mean, my music could be formatted in that way, and hopefully permanently you can buy my CD, and permanently you can keep my CD when you buy it, if you like it, of course. And then at least, like everybody, I can live on my music, because at this moment I have I live day by day, shall we say it that way. So hopefully that will. Anyway, I'm sorry if I stop the last moment of it. Surely I apologize. I'm trying to speak non-stop, and I didn't even have break. It's exactly, I'm talking to my camera, to you, as I am. I'm not reading anything. I'm not. Of course, I've got two cameras, so maybe if you don't mind, I was maybe looking at that one and that one, just if I wanted to make sure which one is better voice, maybe better, I mean sound taking, and maybe hopefully that will be I'm going to upload it and replay, apparently as a new version, that to say the name of this video as the other one, which was 25th, and this is 26th presumably, but this will be a new version because last night, as I said it, I was talking to my camera, sorry, to my webcam, and apparently my webcam, shall we say, could be very basic, I don't know, or something. There was a noise background, was quiet, the room, but there was a very noise background. It was midnight and I did not want to play loud, to replay it on my TV loud. So I had no chance. I was trusted that will be okay, and then I would have uploaded. But unfortunately, I didn't listen to it loudly to know whether there is a noise background, which I had. And apparently I got a comment, very kind comment, from one of the people who watched my 25th video, which is similar version to this about Britain Has Got Talent. And so apparently he or she meant it was too much noise background, presumably. So for that reason, I appreciate that comment, and so now I'm going to upload this again. But approximately the whole story is could be the same, because maybe I may be talking right now quickly, and last night I had you all guess that I don't I have not put my denture due to the troubling me, and I need to um, adjust it with my dentist in a few days time. So that's why I didn't put it on this occasion. Last night I put my denture. It was a bit painful and etc. Anyway, so I hope you can understand kindly. Hopefully my camera will be near enough that you can hear me, what I am saying. I do understand. I have a bit foreign accent in English, but surely I hope you would understand my English language. So, Mr. When, shall we say, when Mr. Simon Cowell, when he said, come next year with some dancer, bring you some dancer, he could have merged me with some of other auditioners who willingly they want to join me because they needed music as well to dance, or maybe they are, and or they have presumably full-time dancers who can dance, and I'm disabled, I couldn't dance, I couldn't play and dance, and they could dance with my music. If that was the only criticism, I didn't have a dancer with me. And he cannot just say, come next year. I've been already 2009. Yes, okay, I didn't go through, but 2010 I got through in January 2010. So he could not say to me, come next year. And in their contract, to my best knowledge, understanding that if you are a music composer, we will separate you. And on the second stage, we will sign your recording deal. I presume if I play my second music, which was fully accepted by everyone, they loved it, then he should have signed me a recording deal. That was the reason I played second music. Despite all my trouble, despite all my pain, despite all embarrassment, presumably, and despite all that. So, it looks like I'm cheated. It looks to me. Because he said to me, play another one, and I was assumed that he will sign me recording deal, or ITV will sign me recording deal. Because in their contract said, if you are a music composer, but he didn't refer to, for example, dancer or to singers or to magician, to others. Only if you are a music composer, if you go through second audition, we will sign you recording deal. And no judge said no, even for my first music. Yeah, Mr. Piers Morgan or Mrs. Amanda, for my first music, maybe, yeah. They made a bit, maybe not seriously, but they, in the middle of my music, they buzzed me. But they still did not say no at that time, to my best understanding, to my best knowledge. So the second music I played, no judges say no. So what's happening? Is it a joke? Am I there a slave that wasting several days, nearly 2 years waiting? And now he will say, come next year with some dancer, in order maybe I will be adding more profit for the next year because I'm a good music composer. He loved it. I don't know what was in his mind, but the producer are, in my view, are very guilty not to sign me recording deal or not to even, I know, as I said, if we don't know in the contract what I've got it said if you are a musical. That was one of the most important thing I referred to it. And after a while I made a formal complaint in a letter to Mr. Brown at number 10 Down Street. At that time he was the Prime Minister of United Kingdom. I made some sort of comment or complaint or whatever to him that what's going on, what they've done to me. ITV, Britain Has Got Talent. It's not a joke. I got a response, not directly from him, but from his office, that they are referring my letter to the Ministry of Culture, which they sent it. But despite I tried to phone them to follow the case with the Ministry of Culture, send it to the Off-Watch, what is it, TV Watch, I'm sorry about spelling, misspelling, Off-Watch or something, something to do with anybody makes complaint about TV, etc. And nothing positively I heard since. And then I tried to write, to the chief executive of ITV several times, presumably, with the register letter, and then also a copy for the attention of Mr. Simon Cowell, because he owned apparently a part of that program or the most of it or such of that. And I wrote it down several times. I tried to follow the case, but I never received any response from the chief executive. I've not received any response from Mr. Simon Cowell at all. The only response I received was from the lawyer of the ITV. They made a funny excuse, etc., and referring the case, presumably that's the Psycho TV or something like that, or Britain Has Got Talent is a program that they have it or so. Anyway, that was a very, shall we say, in my view, that wasn't a fair comment of the lawyer. I still do not agree with what he has said or something. So this is exactly what is the title of my video. Never again. I will be going to be appear on Britain Has Got Talent. Never again. But this is only me. This is only what has happened to me. Nothing to do with any other people if they been or they want to go further. It's nothing about that at all. It's only my freedom of my expression Now I'm on YouTube. I can easily sit down here and play music without being waiting several hours in the queue. And a lot of distressing naturally for even disabled person like me, for a bathroom, for a food, for a that. Everything, food, if nobody knows, we paid it from our own pocket. And at that time, when I wanted to go and I was tired, I told their producer, sorry, presumably they wanted me to go to be interviewed by Mr. Mulhan, maybe, ITV2, again, after normally show, they finished normally ITV2 again, they interviewed them, and presumably I said, I want break. I want to go home. I'm very tired. I'm not well because nearly I have a heart attack. And I did not sleep well 2 hours, and I've got a stomach problem and etc. I am on diabetic and I'm disabled and I want to go home, please. But they did not let me go home. I'd rather to be interviewed by Mr. Steve Sheffen Mulhan at that time, but not to be interviewed by their own, rather, I mean, if they had a medicine doctor, shall we say, GP, general practitioner, he could have come and examined my blood pressure, my heart, etc., that nothing will happen to me because of that great shock of the buzz, noise, and was. But this had nothing to do with mental situation. Even Mrs. Amanda Holney, even some other auditioners, they jump because of the buzz. It's quite natural, that noise. I mean, they may jump. But nobody told me where it is. At least I could guess, because I have a heart hearing problem. I may think twice, shall we say, in milliseconds. The noise of that will be maybe, especially I was for a millisecond thought that was maybe my ex-neighbor attack me right now or buzz me or etc. Maybe gangs, they did it for a millisecond, of course. And therefore their psychologist interviewed me, and she was at the beginning, of course I corrected her. She was talking to my social home care because of my physical disability, of course, as you know. He gave me a lift and he brought me there. She was talking to him, not to me, saying to him, are you sure he will be all right if he goes home? Nothing will happen to him. Nothing, he may do something, etc. Then I said to her, excuse me, talk to me. This gentleman has got nothing to do with me. He's not my social worker, even so. He's only employed by the social service to help me at home, to give me some 1 hour nearly, or 2 hours maybe, to give me some help with domestic cleaning, etc., because to help me to be a bit more independent, to take pressure from me that it's difficult for me to do hoovering or washing or other things, laundry, because of my spine problematic with my neck and back. I mean, my neck and back, spine, and rheumatoid me others. Anyway, it was that. So I said politely, nothing to do with this gentleman. He's only here to help me to carry my keyboards because it's too heavy. And also he gave me a lift, and he's waiting that he gives me a lift back where I live in another town far away from Manchester. So he takes me there. Why do you ask him? You want presumably to take me to a hospital for just maybe something? I mean, yes, one thing, yes, I just have to tell you that Maybe I've forgotten or I'm not sure. I may have said, when Mr. Simon Cowell said, come next year and bring you some dancers, then I said, no, thank you. Exactly, I just fresh your memory again. I said, no, thank you. I'm not sure whether the local gangs, they let me be alive until next year. So it's got nothing to do if I, for example, could have mentioned, oh, I might have self-harming or I may not be alive because of that. Nothing, had nothing to do with that. Never ever meant or said in that way. All I was worried that local gangs where I live, and maybe if producer and Mr. Simon Carr or Mrs. Amanda Olney or Mr. Pierce Morgan, if they had a sympathy towards my case, that I've been victim of crimes in this country seriously, could they not, for example, help with the producer to find me another flat by the local council, or, for example, naturally local council, they ought to pay for my housing rent due to my financial crisis. I didn't want a palace. All I wanted, just a simple accommodation that I can happily live without getting harassed or getting nearly killed by local gangs. That's all I wanted, to live somewhere safer, much better chance to live in a better area. So that was all. But presumably, because I said I don't want to be interviewed by Mr. Mulhan, because I'm very tired, I need break, they could have arranged it, for example, another day or another 2 days. I could come back, maybe, or to interview me if they wanted to carry on their matter. But just because I said I was tired. And the other thing is that they should have had GP or nurse, not a psychologist, to come and examine me whether I'm all right if I go back home. There was no attempt, there was no bad character in a way that can be suspicious for a psychologist at all. I really, believe me or not, I hope you believe me, I acted very properly, much civilized, much better. Even the words in the hotel. Many people, they left their bottle of water or other stuff on the floor, and while the other auditioners, they wanted to practice, to jump, to do gymnastic, others. I was even worried for their safety reason. Because if anybody put a bottle of water or some other item on the floor, I know they may say ITV, they have a staff to do cleaning, but they go and come, and someone can fall over it. They should do about all those matter, not just poor man after I've done well, and they wanted to keep me, and presumably they subject me to the hospital for no reason. What have I done? I mean, I was very polite. I was talking even to one of the mother of the auditioner, because apparently the other ladies, the mothers or something, parents of those other young people, maybe they were more busy, and she was mainly talking to me very kindly. She was a married lady from a nice place in actually one of the reasons I was talking to them, because they were from Cumbria, North Cumbria. Actually that year was a serious flood there, and one of my reasons, by coincidence, I wanted to call it "Let us remember and support the victim of natural disaster," because that put a serious effect on me too, because I used to be civil engineer. I mean, I studied building studies long time ago, before So I had a great respect for the preservation of building and old building, and I saw it on TV that a very old bridge was sadly demolished because of the flood and such as that. All I wanted to just remember it and to dedicate. Not only in other country, of course, but so that was one of the reasons I was talking to the lady next to me from Cumbria, North Cumbria, and she was apparently a very decent family farmers, and I appreciate they kept talking to me, because of course everybody of nervous or such as that. Even I admit on on my camera, that because I suddenly become a bit like a mother of the auditioner she was, and I was auditioner, and maybe I don't have experience, maybe. And I was even very disappointed, very, very disappointed, and very saddened that presumably, I don't know, I guess sadly they did not go through. Of course they were before me. I hope they are watching this video by coincidence, and to see that how I am grateful to their good character and to their good friendship, regardless, of course, with all due respect to her husband. Just apparently her husband was busy, maybe farming busy, and so couldn't come, and I appreciate it. And I'm even very sorry that what has happened to me. Presumably they saw it. That wasn't in my hand. But I wish them good luck and hoping that they now much freely, shall we say, they can watch my video, my music, and I hope they enjoy it. And I say a good hello to that lady and her daughters. They were, I'm very sorry that her daughter didn't go through. So that was, anyway. So I am sure even that kind lady, she has seen me my good character. And so I was sitting very politely, very kind, mainly talking to one of those ladies, which is mother of auditioner, naturally, of course. Maybe I trusted in that way better, because especially, mainly also because they were from North Cumbria and there was a flood there, so there was a bit connection, shall we say, with the title of my music about let us remember and support the victim of natural disaster. This was by coincidence maybe of that, and so it made me a little connection to know more about that area in north of England and such as that. So anyway, so I'm very, very disappointed. I'm very, very upset that the way I've been treated. Maybe I guess I feel that if I've been treated like a slave. I don't know what is the opinion of other auditioners or such as that, but I leave it to themselves. But in what has happened to me, especially with my physical disability, with my other special circumstance, which is very sadly, what has happened to me, sadly looks to me is unique. Also, yes, it's true, I was talking even to that lady about missing my son for a nearly, shall we say, in that time was about 4 years in that time, 5 years. And I don't know where he is about in Austria. Since he was about, sadly, 10 months old, has been taken by his own mother, who used to be an ex-nun in Austria, taken away and never given me any chance to see my son at all, and hidden away. And to this moment I couldn't find my son. I tried all legal remedies. I have appeared in Austrian courts in that time when I used to live there, and also here in Great Britain. I attended several times, nearly, shall we say, in total, about 100 times even, in total, in Austria and this country. But I never got a fair justice. I'm sure that in my book I explain more detail about all this. I'm hoping to finish a book about a part of biography of my life, exactly, sincerely, and hoping that this never happened to anyone again. I'm sorry I made this title, but it's true. Never again. I will be going on Britain Has Got Talent. I appreciate I'm on YouTube now, and not only in Great Britain, now everyone in the whole world, they can watch my video, my music, and they may enjoy it. With less hassle. I know there is some abuse of copyright of my music by a few firms or a few, shall we say, greedy organization, but hopefully they will learn a lesson one day. positively and legally and morally, that they should never do it again to vulnerable artists like me. I am deserved to for my all rights, for my music, for my videos, and for my act. So I don't know. I think. Oh, sorry. I think it's a bit long. I just wanted to say nearly everything as it came to my mind to share it with you. I hope I will be able formally receive a sincere apology from the ITV and presumably from the producer or from the owner of the Britain Has Got Talent about the way I've been treated was terribly, very poor treatment, and nearly I was feeling that I was left very down, whether it was prejudice or whether it was discrimination, whether it was ignorant, whether it was I don't know, whatever it was, they have to apologize to me. And I believe they should have done it they should have done it formally to me. I mean, publicly, shall we say, that all of you do understand that they must have some sort of common sense to understand that if we go, like me, to give a voluntary exhibition for my music and some people for their art, they should be fully respected, no matter what they are going to do. Just because people just affirm they want to make money. But come on, everyone, let's go, and the winner goes and play before His Majesty the Queen. I love her in principle. But it's only one is going there. In the past, even whether I wanted to be there or not, I always meant that, for example, 10 people who are at the finalists, they should be going to the Royal Albert Hall or what other places which they go and perform. Not one. For the Royal Variety, sorry about my misspelling, Variety, Royal Variety. I do not believe, even at that time I did not believe, that I believe that one dancer, one singer, even me, one music composer, or one comedian, one that only the winner goes there, not because of the amount of the money they get. One person going there. In my opinion, that's totally wrong. I'm sure His Majesty the Queen and the royal family, with all due respect to them, they wanted more talents in one go, that they go and do an art, to play, to dance, to do whatever they are, at least in a group, shall we say, different. It is a variety. Should be different, like for example, a dancer or some dancers, musician, music composer or musician, and then for example, comedian, and then all sort of artists on Britain Has Got Talent. When the people, they vote to the finalists, shall we say 10, then they go. And in my view, they are all the winner. I know I had to go with the rule. I had no choice at that time. But now I freely say that. And I'm sure you all agree, most of you all agree that one winner on Britain Has Got Talent, in my view, is not very fair to the other 9 top finalists. And also I believe that, I'm sure, I hope so, royal family, any member of them, they agree with my comment. I'm sure. They want to see more. Not one. Or not only, shall we say, like 5, 10 dancers in one group, they went and danced, for example. Last year, for example, that lady, I have nothing against them, but, or one person going to sing, one person going to dance or do funny things or comedy. There should be about 10 in different, shall we say, different type of artists. And that is good. I hope someone on Britain Has Got Talent, someone will learn from my publicly I made this comment, and they will learn from me. I know there will be, someone is after £500,000 or £100,000 or such a thing. But surely, I'm not talking about the amount of price, because that's something which really is complicated for me. I'm not getting into detail. How many should, but as a matter of principle, 10 finalists, nearly, they've gone, and people, they voted that they are, for example, the best for the public to them. 10, one is musician, for example, one singer, one is comedian, one is dancer, whether it's a few people dancing together, one, for example, etc., etc. I think that is the most practical thing. And anyway, I'm not going, I'm sorry, if they invite me to go on Britain Has Got Talent in order, back to a square one, I would not. If they do publicly apologize, and if they ask me to go and play a music as a performance, not as a just auditioner, just for the sake of the public, if they want me, I may go to play, just as like other singers or other musicians, they go in the middle of their program, they give nice gigs and such as that. Why not? Maybe. They may learn lesson from my beautiful and kind comments. I hope so. And as long as they publicly apologize to me, hopefully I will think twice about that. And all the best. I don't know if I make this video, maybe I may break it into 3-4 parts, because I think it's very long for any of you to sit there and watch me talking about these matters. I hope maybe it takes me another day, but I may break it and make it part 1, part 2, but maybe I added, I'm not promising you, but maybe I added another melody just as a sweetness to your kindness. I hope so, if I can. In the middle, I break it into a few, shall we say, frames, a few section, because then you can have a break yourself. I try my best not to have a break, and I said exactly what it was in my mind without any rehearsal. I hope the sound of these videos will be big enough for you, better than my previous one last night. I hope so. All the best, and I hope you will be watching my previous video. I have already uploaded nearly, but together with last night, 25 videos. And if you type on YouTube music composer William Johnson, apparently you might get all my video on first page and second page. I don't know why is my own channel is a bit disappeared, but I have it on my video manager on my, when I go to open my account, private account on YouTube, I have it my channel, but recently a few days has been disappeared from second page. But please search for me, because 2-3 videos are not started with music composer William Johnson. It could be maybe like Bonita Forest, etc. And one was Macclesfield Forest, Bonita Henry Cheshire, and there are 2, 3, or 4 videos. They are not start with my name William Johnson or something like that. I added my William Johnson, my name, at the end of it, so hopefully you know how you find it out, my other videos. And I hope you will enjoy it, and thanks for watching this, thanks for your kindness, and thanks for understanding my statement. I hope you would forgive me if this video took long and only my speech, and hopefully there will be permanent peace and harmony and tolerance on this planet, on this earth, on this planet. And let's hope that will be the best wish of each one of us. And let's hope that will be practically happen in each part of this planet. Peace, harmony, and tolerance. And wish you all happiness and good health. All the best. Goodbye from me. As I mentioned, I'm William Johnson. I'm a music composer. All the best. Bye.